I am very excited about this one. What if Man of Steel... Sorry, Freudian slip. What if Man of Steel was in color? This is... I saw just a quick couple seconds of it because I wasn't sure... I didn't think it was going to be react-worthy at the time. I just thought it was going to be pictures, but I saw a quick couple seconds of it. I paused that shit because I knew I had to do this one live with you guys because fucking... Hey, Akasan's Honest Reactions. I am Akasan. One of the realest reactors out there. But we're here now about to do this shit. It's been one of the biggest things about me with Man of Steel. Flashback to 2-3 years ago when Man of Steel was first in production and all the photos, the set photos were coming out. And it was really perplexing to me about Man of Steel was some of the posters. Where the fuck are you, dude? I don't even know. Huh? I know. Ah, there it is. You guys can't see it right there. Man of Steel. Whatever. The posters look pretty damn good. Okay? The posters look good. The set photos look pretty good. But, hope my whole fucking set doesn't fall on me now. But, something about the fucking movie was so dark, dreary, like just so saturated. And here's the thing about Man of Steel, it worried the shit out of me because I liked the trailer a lot and I was really looking forward to it, but there was something so weird about the coloring or whatever being so fucking dark. And the main reason at that time I worried about it was because they oversaturated the shit out of Superman Returns. Fucking purple cape and that shit worried the hell out of me, and I was afraid we were gonna get the same thing. But it just kind of it was a big debate at that time with my community of fans about the fact that if this coloring would not work in real life or in terms of a movie, it would not work. You couldn't have a bright Superman because it would look fake. So I'm very curious to see how this is gonna look in my eyes. Alright, and then the other thing was, it was a weird theory. I kind of liked this theory though, because I was really concerned, how come in Man of Steel, Superman's outfit, the yellow was absent several times in some of the photos that I saw in some of the video. And then one theory I heard, which was pretty cool, didn't prove the more he gradually, in the beginning he was going to be this kind of mutant Superman, but the more he became Superman and the more that suit was exposed to sun, the brighter his suit was going to get, the more yellow, that black or whatever was going to turn to yellow. But as we all know, that didn't happen. Let me see. I'm very curious about this. Here we go. Pop me up. Let's go. Oh my God. Wow.
You're looking at what might have been Zack Snyder's Man of Steel in color.
Wow. I like how it's kind of a stab though, in color, as if
Man of Steel launched Superman into the age of modern blockbusters. The movie delivered on big action, which was missing from previous Superman films. But the bleak tone and even bleaker color grading borrowed from the successful Dark Knight films left Superman looking like a corpse off of CSI.
In my world, it means hope.
So it got us wondering, what if Man of Steel was in color? We brought the movie into the lab and tried to turn back time and restore some of the film's natural color.
Okay.
The results? Up top you see, believe it or not, the untouched film. We haven't altered that in any
That's what I was wondering.
Video Lab's color restoration. What's apparent is that hidden under all that darkness and desaturation is a Superman movie that looks like
a Superman. Yes.
Zack Snyder had a beautiful looking movie. So what went wrong? We know from set photos that the Superman costume is actually bright red and blue. The colors were there until post-production, when they decided on this dark aesthetic. In a way, it's hard to blame them. Think about it.
Yeah.
DC and Warner Brothers enjoyed massive financial success with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight film.
Yes.
But the one time since 2006 they tried to make another big superhero movie, it crashed and burned.
I know, right?
So they went with the tried and true dark and gritty. But what works for Batman doesn't necessarily work for Superman.
That's what I'm saying.
It begs the question, which movie would you rather watch?
Pause! I need to say something about that real quick. Fucking A. Like, do you guys remember when, for those of you that have been around this for quite a while, remember when they were first deciding on doing a Superman movie and that they said they were gonna make it dark and gritty and shit, and we all fucking went nuts about it? Was this Man of Steel or Superman Returns? I don't remember though. I think it was about Man of Steel when they were in when they were in pre-production and just announced that they were gonna try another Superman movie or something. I think it was Man of Steel, but we all fucking lost our goddamn mind because we were like, Superman is not fucking Batman. Stop. We know the Dark Knight was popular. Don't fucking keep making these clone movies, because a lot of people were trying to keep redoing copying off the success of the Dark Knight. Iron Man 2, for example. Anyways, rant over. God damn, though. It's kind of my just first impression and reaction about this. It looks really. I'm a little shocked because I Man of Steel, I haven't rented it. I haven't watched it since the bootleg. No, I haven't watched it since the second time, which was in IMAX sound and everything. I haven't watched it since then. It was in IMAX in Japan, so I've never rented it. So, but I still can't believe how dark the original footage really is. That it was. Oh fuck. I'm gonna get to that later. Sorry about that, Video Lab. Continue. Wow. I can't believe what the fuck I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is crazy.
One thing is for certain. The colorists working on Man of Steel's sequel, Batman vs. Superman, which comes out March 2016, might be smart to leave that color alone. At least when it comes to Superman. After all, Batman is in that movie, so they can have their cake and eat it too. It would actually be a nice visual contrast for the character.
Thank you.
Batman vs. Superman is taking inspiration from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, isn't it? Well, look at Superman there. The bottom line? Superman should fly in blue skies, not gray ones.
Wow. 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 You know, honestly, in a sense, before fucking Man of Steel people get on my case about this, in a sense, I almost feel like they should start a Kickstarter or whatever to have them re-release Man of Steel either one or two ways. Either WB will never do it, though, because that would be like saying that, oh, you guys have a point. But if they released it, or two different versions, I don't know. You know, George Lucas does that shit all the time. But let's put that to the side. A Kickstarter campaign, or just a little thing. I would like to I would be willing to rewatch Man of Steel sooner than later, because in all likelihood, you know, guys, for reals, there's been times where I have wanted, like, I thought I was never gonna rent Iron Man 3, because I kind of felt the same way after Iron Man 3. I was just like, what the fuck, I am never gonna watch that movie again. But I did watch Iron Man 3 again. And after putting aside the whole thing with the Mandarin, I was just like, okay, this movie is not as bad as I remembered it. It wasn't great. It still wasn't great. It just, my expectation, which a lot of you members of the Red Dread Nation have mentioned, my expectation for going into Iron Man or in trailers in general, but my expectation for Iron Man 3 in this case was just completely different than especially if you watch those trailers. Those trailers made you the way they were ripping off the Dark Knight Rises, and making it feel like it was gonna, like, Tony's life was really gonna be in danger and blah blah blah. He never felt in danger in that movie. But sorry, I rant. Yeah. Anyway, so I've never felt like, every time I see it, Man of Steel at the video store, I sometimes think like, okay, let me just try to give it another chance. Enough years have passed, and maybe it, like, the critique is with it dying down, but I just can't, like, every single time I think about that movie, not the trailers, because the trailers are fucking great and legendary. And that's gonna come up in the near future about something, but every time I think about that movie, I just always think about how dreamy, and it puts me in a weird dream bored / meh state trance. Like the second half of the movie for sure, but even the first part, which I thought was beautifully done, kind of where it was Superman Begins basically, but it still was really good. I liked it, some of those shots and such. It's just part of that just really put me on this weird trance that was like almost like zombified, so to speak. It's really hard for me to explain it, but I'll put it this way, is the fact that I used the Man of Steel soundtrack to go to sleep when I was having jet lag, or when I was on a plane or whatever. I played that Man of Steel soundtrack because it put me in this weird state that I could actually rest and just go to sleep. Where it inspired one of my best friends, and he loves the soundtrack and he plays it all the time, and it gets him hyped or whatever, and some people use it for the gym. Nah, man, I put that shit on. I put that shit on like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, hey, out cold. Something about that. That being said, I would be very interested in watching the movie if Videolab redid this movie all in color. And I would like to see, because I don't know, for me, I'm not a huge Superman fan, but I didn't feel it. Some people did, but I did not feel inspired by that movie. I did not feel like, okay, this is the hero that other heroes look up to, right? And that's a story for another day. But and part of that was a lot of that tone. You just felt like it was like a dark apocalyptic world, so to speak. But that being said, all being said, the Videolab version sometimes felt it kind of reminded me of how they colorized the I Love Lucy black and white TV shows sometimes. So sometimes that could be a little too much, just a little too much. And then furthermore, thinking about where they're going, where Zack Snyder is going with Batman vs. Superman, it would be a little difficult. Like, if you really think about Batman vs. Superman, and if you compare Man of Steel with the two, if they went that really bright route, and now seeing where Batman vs. Superman is going, very much just like Watchmen, it reminded me of, or Watchmen. Yeah, I could see why that tone is the way it is, but we'll see, guys. We'll see what the final thing is going to be. I mean, I just feel, especially with Batman vs. Superman, I feel like Snyder and company with Miller's work is going to really just make cult-style movies. Like, a core fan base is really going to enjoy the shit out of them like crazy, but I think it's not going to be what brings in or it will become, like, for example, general audience, what Star Wars is to the general audience, what the Avengers are to what anything Marvel puts out, Guardians of the Galaxy, is to the general audience. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's exactly what DC needs to be doing, is focusing on just a core, hardcore audience that no matter what they're going to put out or whatever, they're going to love it. And if you talk bad or give a fucked up reaction, you'll never hear the end of it. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say for that much. I'll check back with you guys later. No outro anyways, so color me impressed.